The London Weekly.
This is Angus Auden of the London Weekly, currently on location in Switzerland, experiencing a nice short weekend at the Beau-Rivage Palace Hotel in Lausanne. I'm currently talking to Alessandra Hemmeler, who is the Public Relations and Communications Manager for the hotel. Good evening, Alessandra.
Good evening, Angus.
First of all, this hotel has got quite a bit of history to it. It was built in 1861. Can you tell us a little bit about the history?
Yes, exactly. Actually, the first foundation was from 1857.
Mm-hmm.
So we've celebrated the 150th anniversary 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have this obvious traditional history with the building, with the history. And our motto is tradition in movement, as we don't want to sit on our tradition, but just always go forward and adapt to what the clients want.
Okay. Now the main part of the hotel is known as the Beau-Rivage wing, is it?
Actually, yes. The first wing was the Beau-Rivage, but at that time people traveled. The way of traveling was different because the stays were longer, and so the Beau-Rivage became quite quickly too small. So they had to add a wing, which is the Palace wing, and this is why the hotel name is Beau-Rivage Palace.
Right. And you've got about 168 rooms.
168, yes.
Earlier on, we were shown on a guide of the biggest suite that you've got. You mentioned this as an ideal suite for honeymoons. Have you had many famous faces that stay in a hotel?
We have had, yes, for 150 years we have had many celebrities. I could maybe talk about Phil Collins' wedding.
Yeah.
Diana Ross once also. So yeah.
Okay.
So
and any royalty?
And we also have your royalties of Windsor.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, and they've all stayed in that, the Imperial Suite it's called?
I cannot confirm that 100% because I'm sorry, but could be actually, as it is one of our signature suites. So when we have very VIP guests, we try to host them in this suite.
Now the hotel itself is, it's got a lot of its original features. Any restoration that goes on, you try and maintain those original features. One of those features is the Sandus. My pronunciation is terrible. It's the ballroom. What's the name of the ballroom?
The ballroom is Sandu. Sandu is the name of the family foundation that owns the Beau-Rivage.
Okay, and we had a look at that earlier, and we see some pictures on the wall as well from the signing of the Treaty of Lausanne?
Yes, in 1923, the Treaty of Lausanne was signed in this room. Okay. So this room welcomes historical events, people events. So it's really you have different options in all of our rooms, actually, not only this one.
Now the hotel is located on what you say is known across probably the UK and Europe as the Lake Geneva, but it's actually called Lake Léman, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Lake Geneva is the English version, but it's Lake Léman as it's not only close to Geneva, but also until Lausanne, Villeneuve, and all the Lake Geneva region.
Okay. Now the location of the hotel is. Because we've been skiing, and so it's quite close to ski resorts as well as sort of the concert venues. I noticed in the brochure you emphasise you're child friendly. There's a lot of activities for children. There's a character was it the mascot? That you have? Beau-Rivage.
Yes, Beau-Rivage. Actually, Beau-Rivage is the contraction of Beau-Rivage. Okay. So it's a fox.
Okay.
And this little fox represents, actually, in the gardens, we have 10 acres gardens all around the hotel. And a real fox, comes sometimes and walks in the gardens.
Right.
So Beau-Rivage is the representation of this fox the fact that the hotel is located in the middle of the nature, facing the French Alps, in front of the lake. So and even the fox are coming at the hotel in the gardens.
During the summertime, you mentioned obviously there's a lot of activities on the lake. What kind of things can people get up to on the lake? You've got pedalos and rowboats and...
Yeah, we have pedalos. We organize also some cruises on the lake with and the Beau-Rivage does the catering on the lake.
Okay.
So, which is really very nice because when you're floating on the lake on evenings, you really have the lights from all over the lake, you know, lightning on the water. It's really fantastic. It's really something very, very beautiful. And as the Beau-Rivage Palace does the catering, you really have an exclusive evening.
What kind of clients do you get? I mean, obviously you've got families with children. For Lausanne, what's the nightlife like for young people?
So firstly, I would say that we have 50% business clientele and 50% leisure. It depends on the time of the year. But then, yes, for young clientele, we have an interesting nightlife as Lausanne is a student city. There are many festivals in summertime, music festival, film festivals. Lausanne is also very well located in Switzerland, so you can travel really, even if you want to discover another city for one day or whatever, you can be almost everywhere in the longest you have to do is 2.5 hours to go to Zurich, for instance. So it's really very interesting how Lausanne is located. And then you come back, you arrive here, you have a nice day outside with the sun, and then you arrive here, you can have a spa treatment, you can go in the pool, we have an outdoor pool and an indoor pool, and all what you do is facing the lake and the mountains, so it's really enjoyable. So
you mentioned the spa. I can't pronounce the name. It's the
Actually, it's Cinq Mondes Spa. Cinq Mondes means 5 worlds. And Jean-Louis Poiroux, the founder of the brand, used to work for L'Oréal. And at one point, he decided to travel around the world to discover how people on different continents were using the different treatments. And this is why actually when you go to the Spa Cinq Mondes, you can have treatments from Bali, treatments from Siam, and all around the world, and Morocco and so on. And he really wanted to catch the best he could find all over the world to recreate that here in Europe.
You've also got several different restaurants as well within the hotel. You got a Japanese sushi restaurant?
Yes, actually all together, because we have also a sister property, the Hotel Angleterre en Résidence, a 4-star hotel just next door. And this one has an Italian restaurant, so with real Italian pastas, homemade Italian wines, Italian butlers, everything is Italian. We have a Japanese restaurant, and also with a Japanese cook. So everything is also really Japanese. The furniture comes from Japan. Everything comes from Japan. The cook comes from a hotel school in Tokyo. So really, very traditional. So we really always try to go directly to the tradition. We also have a French restaurant, a French brasserie, the Café Beau-Rivage. And there you have really classical dishes like tartare, perch, and finally we have since April 2009 a gastronomic restaurant, Anne-Sophie Pic au Beau-Rivage Palace. So Anne-Sophie Pic is a famous chef in France. She is the 4th generation with in the cooking industry, and the 3rd generation with 3 Michelin stars. And she came here to open a restaurant next to the one she keeps in Valence, of course. But she has a new restaurant here in Lausanne. And so we opened in April last year, and in November she obtained 2 Michelin stars. So she now has 5 Michelin stars, 3 in France and 2 at the Beau-Rivage Palace. And we're looking forward to the future because it's really very successful, and we're really happy with that.
Thank you very much for your time, Alessandra, and I wish you all the best of luck with the future for the business.
Thank you. This is Alessandra Hemmler, Public Relations and Communications Manager at the Beau-Rivage Palace in Switzerland, and you're listening to London Weekly Radio.
The London Weekly.